I'm Alyssa.
And I'm Mike.
Welcome back.
And here we are again. Yeah.
Welcome back to Thursday or Tuesday. Not Thursday. Tuesday.
It's only Tuesday. No.
Tuesday.
I wish it was Thursday because then it would almost be Friday and then I'd be really happy.
Whole day Monday, I was thinking it was the weekend. Like, the weekend was too fast when you think it's about to be the weekend again. Like, what?
Yeah. I woke up this morning and, you're in that drowsy state where you're first waking up and I'm trying to figure out what day of the week it is. And I swear I was thinking it was Sunday still. And then when I realized it was Monday, it was like all the air went out of my balloon. Yeah.
Yeah, that's annoying.
But
so,
yeah.
I like your new background, by the way. I meant to tell you that in our
that's
pre-show meeting.
Yeah. Yeah. I thought it would be more,
It's more very something. Whimsical.
Is that what it is? It's just curtains. It's just a window.
I know. It looks very nice. It looks relaxing. It looks peaceful.
It's a
Mine's
nice
a little chaotic, a little more crazy. So today, everybody, we are going to be talking about... Okay, so a little backstory is that I didn't discover them because I remember you guys always having them at your house in the small bag. So I guess I did try them at your house.
Oh, right.
But I never noticed or I guess just like paid attention to it. Like I discovered Boulder chips and I discovered them because I've been paying attention to ingredients lately. Just because I see a lot of things on TikTok about bad ingredients and it just, it sparks my curiosity. So I found these chips and literally there's 3 ingredients on the back. Sea salt, avocado oil, and potatoes. And my mind was blown. And you have trust issues with it when you kind of also think that they're lying. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, okay, where's the rest of the ingredients? That's all they have in them.
Yeah.
The flavored ones have a few other little things, but even then it's not super bad ingredients. But then you take another bag of wavy chips and you look at the back and it really makes you wonder why not all chip brands do the same thing. Like why they do have so many random ingredients in so many of these other things. Recently, I salad dressing. There was this salad dressing that I found, and it was advertised as made with avocado oil. Excuse me. So you would think, oh, it's made with avocado oil. It's good. You read the back of it, the ingredients list. Sure, it has avocado oil, but it also has canola oil. Like probably this much avocado oil and the rest canola oil just to make up a bulk amount of something. I think that's insane.
Yeah. Yeah, and like even with some other things like what is it? I think it's Steak and Shake fries. They say, "Oh, they're really good because they're made in the beef talons, which are supposed to be better for you than, like any of the seed oils and that kind of thing."
Mm-hmm.
But I had heard somewhere that they actually cook them in the seed oils, like at the factory, before they go to the restaurants, where the restaurants then cook them in the beef talons, which is still better, mind you. It's still better that at least partially they're being cooked in the good stuff. Mm-hmm. But you do wonder, like, it has to be cheaper. It has to be that it's a lot cheaper for them to do that stuff. Or like with the food dyes, like, we've talked before about I think it's, what is it? It's one of the cereals that
Red Dye 40.
That they, that they use the dyes in to make them look brighter, but only in the U.S. because in the U.S. I guess consumers are more like, oh, it's bright, let me eat that, but it's kind of like a vicious cycle, I guess, because people buy it because they expect it to be that color because that's what the marketing has presented it to be. Like if it's brighter, it tastes fruitier or whatever the mindset is. Like it's not like human beings naturally think that or something,
Yeah.
So that part of it is a little odd, but it's like you said, like you look at chips like those, and they're the Boulder Canyon ones are the ones you're talking about.
Mm.
Um, like we just like those chips because we like those chips. But then when you mentioned that and we looked at that, we're like, oh yeah, I'm never buying other chips again because
Yeah.
these are made healthier and I like them.
Yeah.
So if they can be made healthy and they're good, like why doesn't everybody do that? That's exactly it.
Yeah. I only
I have to
buy
imagine the seed oils are cheaper.
Yeah, I was gonna say I only buy avocado oil and olive oil. I never use like if even if I'm trying to fry something, it's only ever with avocado oil. I've never buy any of the other oils. And avocado oil is more expensive, but I don't know. I feel like as a
Yeah.
consumer, I like the Boulder chips. They're I think $3.99 in the store. I could buy a generic Target brand of wavy chips that are still delicious for $1.79. Obviously, that's way cheaper, but I mean, I would rather, in the long term, I don't know, I would just rather pay a little bit extra for regular good ingredients. And I think a lot of other people would as
Yeah.
well
Yeah.
in the long run. I don't know. I mean, I know some people like to cheap out, but I think when you really understand how crazy some of the ingredients in things are, I mean, they're talking about using the same ingredients in food products that they use in, I don't know, it's just bad chemicals. I forget one of them, but I think it was like car engines, or not car engines, but in a car.
Yeah.
Like literally
Yeah.
transmission oil basically.
Yeah. No, they say that like the seed oils, and seed oils are things like, canola oil
Mhm.
and all, or not olive oil, like, uh, what are the ones that are just classified as vegetable oil, like that kind of thing. Those are really made for industrial use. They
Yeah.
were never like originally designed for like, human consumption. And
Yeah.
not that, you know, like not that they're you wouldn't eat motor oil because it would probably cause your stomach to go into fits or something. So not that they're like bad for you like that, like clearly they're cleaner than those type of industrial oils,
Yeah.
but at the same time the things that they do
That's why they
like to your
clog your
system
arteries for with
are,
long-term use.
yeah, yeah, exactly. It's all that stuff. It's the negative fats that you're getting from
I
them.
think it's also just what your body is used to. I think, at such a young age, when you are such a young child and you're eating those cereals with all of that garbage in it and all of the, just all the
Yeah,
chips with all those crazy ingredients in it, like you're eating that at, I mean, Ollie can eat chips. You know what I mean? You're eating those from
yeah,
such a young
yeah,
age.
yeah.
So your body just builds up to it. But think about when you haven't like eaten fast food in a long time or something like that. You just haven't eaten something bad
Right.
like that in a long time. And then you eat it again after a while of not eating it, you don't feel good. Versus if you're eating
No,
it
no, no,
consistently,
and
daily,
the other
weekly,
thing that they
whatever.
say, like, yeah, the other thing they say, with the seed oils too, is they like it leads to things like the chronic inflammation,
Hmm.
which is just where, that's where you just don't feel good because you've got inflammation going on, that's being caused by the food that you're eating. So it
Yeah.
is really kind of crazy that it's become such a thing. That's where I think it's good, some of the stuff that they're trying to do to get this stuff out there, and it's really odd because like the regulations for this stuff in the US have been so laxed compared to like other parts of the world, like Europe.
Yeah.
um so it's interesting to see that we're kind of moving more in that direction, for especially for some of the dyes, which the dyes, they say some of the ones that we use now lead to things like hyperactivity
Yeah.
in kids, that it can there can be allergic reactions, I think, to some of them in some kids. So it's just really, and probably a lot of it we don't even know, because the interesting thing is like some of the things that they can use when you're talking about the dyes in place of those dyes, um, it's really strange. It's like things like turmeric. Turmeric, is that how you say it?
Turmeric. I say
Which
turmeric.
is funny because if you think about that, yeah, if you think about that, like when you're using it in baking and that,
Mhm.
like it stains everything. So it makes sense that it would be a dye and that it would be able to be used as dye. And what are some of the other ones that I've seen
There's
too?
that
Like,
one fruit or something that's purple that they've been using. I think one of the fast food restaurants actually used it in one of their like purple burgers or purple something. I can't think of the name of
uh,
it, but they use
is it like beet? Isn't it beet juice?
they've used beets before, but
Isn't beet juice one of them?
that's for something more red. Hold on, I'm gonna look it up because I don't really know the name of it.
Ah,
For dye. Um, it is. Please hold. Please hold. Oh, they're saying hibiscus. That's not what I'm talking about. It's like a fruit. I don't know.
ah,
I don't know. I know beets. Beets is another one, but beets has more of a taste. The thing with turmeric is that turmeric doesn't. Turmeric literally doesn't taste like anything. You know, they say turmeric only is activated with pepper,
yeah,
though. I've heard that. That if you just eat turmeric by itself, it
yeah.
doesn't have the same benefits as when you have to activate it with pepper, like cracked pepper.
Oh, right,
Um,
right.
Yeah, I mean, I remember, I think I might have talked about it on here before, but the bread thing, where America is one of the only places that has um, bread on the shelves for like, that you can keep bread for just weeks because of all the preservatives and stuff that they put in it. In a lot of other
Right.
countries, they're actually surprised. They're like, they look at America like, wait, what? How do you guys what do you mean you have just aisles of bread on the shelf for like weeks? You keep bread in your pantry for days and weeks? Like, what do you mean? Because
Right.
they
Right.
they're like you're buying fresh bread every day. The bread that they have left over at the end of the day, they're either throwing it out or, you know, finding some making croutons with it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They're not
Yeah. 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 And it's funny because I think of like we've had like hot dog buns or hamburger buns. You know, we don't
Mhm.
use a lot of them. We usually buy them if we're having a cookout.
Yeah.
We'll have some left over, and they'll sit in the pantry for like a week, and I'll think, oh, they're going to be bad, and I'll look at them, and they're so good, and I'm like, oh,
Yeah. Or
like
eggs.
that's
If you go to like somewhere like Mexico or one another country and you buy eggs, the eggs are just in the store on the shelf, like just out.
right,
They're not refrigerated. They're just on a
right,
regular grocery shelf, and it's because they're fresher eggs. Our eggs, we have to keep them refrigerated, and they're refrigerated in the stores because it's been a while since they were that chicken laid those
is that
eggs.
what it
Yeah,
is?
they're older
I've wondered
eggs.
that because some people do keep their eggs like not
And
refrigerated
it's
at
because they're
home,
fresh eggs.
but maybe those are people that are buying them farm fresh.
Yeah. If you go and you buy a
Yeah,
chicken or
interesting.
if you go to a
See, I
farm
always
and you buy
wondered that.
eggs from just a I think Heather said that Charlie had gotten eggs from somebody and she just was keeping them on her kitchen counter because you don't
Okay,
refrigerate fresh eggs. You don't need to. Isn't that crazy?
that is crazy. Yeah,
I feel like it's also just the place that we are too. Like there are more probably rural parts of the US or just Florida in general where it's more farmy and you might not have the same there might be a lot more options to buy that stuff from a mom and pop shop or but
right.
I like going to Panera for my baguettes
Well,
because I know they're made fresh. I don't know if they're really fresh, but it makes me feel better.
yeah, that's okay. I see like 100 different like Instagram videos on how to make baguettes. So one of these days, I'm gonna actually try it. But
I know. I want to make
one of
my own
these
bread
days,
too.
not today.
They make it look
Yeah,
easy,
have you
but
gotten those? Are
yeah.
those? Yeah, they do. It's like just put these. It's always like all those recipes are like it's just three ingredients.
The
It's
thing
like
for me is once I see them pull
wow.
out the dry yeast, I'm like, I'm
Yeah.
intimidated.
I don't,
I'd rather
yeah,
not.
I don't have that in the
Bread
house.
recipes without yeast is my search.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. Yeah, it's got to be like, and I'm looking at some info on the oils though too, and why we use them versus the better oils, and it's got to be heavily based on price.
Well, that's what they
You know,
even
I mean,
say,
you know, when you go to the store,
like with butter. A lot of butter is made with canola oil as well. So even that to me, I guess like I don't buy avocado or mayonnaise. Like those are all made with canola oils. A lot of them aren't made. Even the ones
yeah,
that say olive oil, check the back of your mayonnaise. I would bet you that there's probably canola oil in it. It's not just it'll have
yeah,
olive oil or avocado oil and canola oil because
yeah,
they put just enough that they're able to claim that it's made with that that oil, and then they use the rest of the ingredient with, you know,
yeah,
we've all done.
yeah, and it's annoying because when it comes to that kind of stuff, like I'm not big on government regulations.
Mhm.
But at the same time, when an industry is doing things because it's cheaper for them, and and they're depending on the fact that people are just not that informed about it,
Yeah.
because that's been the case for probably my whole lifetime. Is people I don't care what dyes are in it. Look how bright the cereal coloring is, or that kind of thing, and they haven't been like as informed, I think, about the bad sides of it. And so with that kind of thing in mind, at some point somebody has to be able to say you can't use this stuff in food. I mean,
Yeah.
something that's got so many questions about whether or not it's good for you, or not even whether or not it's good for you, but whether or not it's bad for you.
Yeah, I mean, I think they do it because it's cheaper for them. So then they're also bringing down the cost for the consumer who's purchasing it. However, you know,
Right.
they the thing is that not everybody, I get it, not everybody can afford, or just not even if they can't afford it, they don't want to spend $4 on a bag of chips that's like filled this much. Because I will say
Right.
about the Boulder chips, they also don't fill them up that much. But
Yeah, that's
it's
true.
better to buy. I've found the individual ones like y'all have than it is
Yep.
to buy the big bag in the store, because the big bag in the store does not have much in it. But so I
Yeah.
get it. You don't want to spend that much. It's way easier to just say forget it. I'm gonna get the $1.79 bag of wavy chips, and that's what we're eating. It has
Oh
bad
yeah. I mean,
ingredients,
even
but
to
it's cheaper
buy.
and I get more, so that's what it is.
Yeah, that's the thing, is it's like it's much more expensive to buy like the healthy foods. You go into the store and buy like vegetables and fruit and that kind of thing,
Mhm.
than it is to buy like the cheap stuff, like we're talking about, the cheaply made chips that are made with all the bad ingredients and that kind of thing. So that's why, honestly, it's a lot harder for people to eat healthy,
Yeah,
because the good stuff is so much more expensive. Even
yeah,
going to like the idea of making your own, like sauces. Making your own sauce is, if you're making it literally from scratch, like you're getting tomatoes and dicing them and cooking them
garlic and the
and that kind of
seasonings.
thing,
Yeah,
that's going to cost you a lot more money than going and buying a jar of ragu or prego or whatever
for like a
brand
dollar.
of spaghetti sauce you choose.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, exactly. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, no. I mean, I think that all of the random ingredients that go into things definitely can be, a lot of them, erased. I also know that, like, just from working in restaurants back in the day, that a lot of the time they get ingredients and just things in a bulk setting. So the amount that they're charging, like what they have to pay out for those ingredients versus what they're charging the person coming in for that, they're making so much more in a
Right.
profit than, I don't know. I feel like
Oh,
they
sure.
could totally cut costs if they wanted to.
Yeah. 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 Completely. Completely.
I'm still trying to look for that vegetable. I know I've seen it all the time and I can't remember what it I'm gonna put
See,
fruit.
I was looking something up before on the dyes and the alternatives because I know that they're that I had seen something about what they were recommending as the alternatives, for the different dyes because it's crazy with those dyes how like there are dyes that are being used in food. I forget. I think it was one of the reds
Hmm.
that's being used in food that was actually banned in cosmetic products because of because they knew that it was like really bad for you,
Oh
which is
wow.
just it's crazy. Like, wait, so you can't put it in makeup, but you can put it in food? Like that just makes no sense to me at all.
Yeah, I mean honestly makeup is even like even the those products that you use for your skin and stuff, that's also a big thing that they also apparently put bad ingredients in that stuff. Like
Right.
like oh, what is it? There's so many companies that have just open lawsuits right now. I was talking about it the other day. They have open lawsuits for their hair shampoo and conditioner making people's hair fall out and like class action lawsuits
Mm,
for it because their lotion or body wash is just not good for your skin at all with the ingredients in it. The shampoo and conditioner and hair products that they have is making people lose their hair and because of the bad ingredients in
yep.
it. Crazy. Because I think a lot of times you just think about the food
Yeah.
ingredient side of it. No, it's skincare as well. It's hair care as well. It's all of it. And I think it's just because
Yeah.
America, I don't know, because Europe's big, but I just think America just tries to mass produce so much that
Yep.
like when you went over to Italy, as popular as of a like tourist spot as Italy is, as all of those places that you went to, Greece, all of that, they still aren't mass
Right.
producing things the way if you go to Disney World here, you know?
Right. Right.
I mean, if you can find a little mom and pop shop, sure. But they were even saying that I remember reading a while ago that even organic vegetables were tested, like fruits and vegetables, they were tested and they had signs of like traces of pesticides. And it's because what happens is a lot of times they farm the organic and non-organic stuff kind of near each other. And what happens is when it rains, what happens when it rains? Things get muddy.
Right.
Things start things start moving, and the soil from the pesticide plants ended up running down to the um organic
The
vegetables.
organics, yeah,
Yeah.
that yeah, which is yeah, again, that's great. Well, that's another example, like you talked about the foods that contain, or that's claimed to contain like avocado oil or olive oil, but they also contain the other seed oils. So, they're they do it enough to be able to put it on the label, which is why you're right. Like turn the jar over before you buy it and look at the back and see what's in it.
Yeah.
Go to I this is a challenge I would have for anybody that listens to this is go to the store and go to buy chips, go to buy potato chips and look at the number of ingredients on those potato chip bags. It will shock you the number of ingredients on those potato chip bags. And then go look for the brand that we're talking about. And there may be others out there too. This is just the
Yeah.
only one that we're aware of that's this clean. Boulder Canyon. Turn those over and look at the back of those bags and literally three ingredients: potatoes, avocado oil, and salt.
Yeah. And I think that's also really important is to just find a brand that is actually legit. Like I would trust anything Boulder tried to sell to me at this point until they lose my trust. But there's also that one brand,
Yeah,
I think it's called
sure.
Primal Kitchen. Primal Kitchen has a bunch of great sauces and salad dressings and stuff, and like marinades and everything. Um, all of their ingredients are made with avocado oil, only avocado oil, and yeah, they just have way cleaner ingredients. Again, it's a little more expensive, but they have really good, clean sauces, dressings, marinades, all that stuff, and it's pretty good. I got their
Yeah.
Greek salad dressing, and you know, it tastes a little earthy at
Okay.
times, but
Yeah. Yeah, salad dressing's one of those things too that if I honestly, if you can make it yourself, like do that because it's going to be so. Because then you know everything that's going into it for sure. I mean,
yeah.
the jar should tell you that as well. But if you make like, and it's so easy to make like a good salad dressing anyway.
There's this one guy I follow on TikTok, and I think like he's one of them who really made me open my mind about it, because he goes through the grocery store, and I mean he's basically says everything is poison. He's like pointing to the cereal aisle like, don't trust anything down here. Like this is all poison. All of this like bad for you. Like just so many, I mean pretty much anything shelf stable. He's like, it's like we were just talking about in the other
Yeah.
episode, like why is this Velveeta cheese on the shelf in the aisle? Like it shouldn't be here. We
Yeah.
all know
Yeah.
Velveeta cheese isn't good for you,
Yeah.
but it's things like that. Like if this can sit on the shelf for this long, why are you? I mean, they do say that they say frozen fruits and vegetables are good for the most part. Check the ingredients, but for the most part because they're frozen, flash frozen at like their peak ripeness. That's why they always say to buy fruits and vegetables that are in the frozen aisle, but
Versus, is that like versus canned? Like they're better than canned? That would make
well,
sense.
yeah, or just even sometimes better than like the fresh ones because they're their ripest. They're the best. They're their best form. Like bananas,
Yeah.
they're better frozen.
Bananas are better frozen.
Yeah,
I like fresh bananas.
but where's that one video? Oh, here it is. Okay, so there's
Did you ever find that?
no, I didn't find the fruit. I moved past it. Okay,
Oh,
so
okay.
Doritos.
Okay.
Doritos have 32 ingredients, including red 40 and seed
Yeah.
oils. That is keeping your kids hyper and inflamed. Siete, the
Yep.
Siete brand chips, they say they have a nacho cheese flavor that is apparently comparable to Doritos. Um, which I've actually tried. I don't know if you've tried the Siete brand. It's actually pretty good. I will say, like, if you're craving a Dorito, the Siete nacho cheese flavor, does it taste like a Dorito? No, it doesn't taste like a Dorito, but it's pretty good. Like, find
Yeah.
a
Like
make a dip for
if
it.
you, yeah, you got to bring your kids up on that, and then they don't know what they're missing in the Dorito.
No,
That's the
exactly.
key.
That is the key. Like even if you think of like juices and sodas. Like we didn't drink a lot of juices and sodas. Obviously, we know they're all bad for you. Like as I'm saying this,
Right.
love a good diet Coke. But
Yeah.
we didn't grow up drinking just I feel like juice and soda all the time. Like it was more used as like a treat. Like a dinner time treat.
Right.
So we weren't one of those
Right.
adults that were, you know, at a job that I had back in the day, people would pull up there at 6 a.m. and order a large diet or a large Coke. And like that would be
Yeah. I
basically their
couldn't.
coffee replacement.
6 a.m.
Yeah.
Then again, those. Yeah. Those are just people who don't like coffee because some people don't like coffee,
Yeah, but I mean,
which I don't understand. I can't.
yeah. I don't get it either, but I think that that's people that also probably grew up like drinking that kind of thing. So I feel like if you grow up drinking water and healthier
Yeah.
healthier juices, that's just what you're gonna be prone to. So
Yep.
it says Kool-Aid jammers have high fructose corn syrup, natural artificial flavors, an artificial sweetener, calcium diosodine, whatever that is. Everyone, I mean,
Mm.
whoever said I say like too much is really gonna have a good time with that one. But so they say there's this brand. They say that there's this brand called Uncle Matt's who has natural
Oh,
juices and filtered water. Okay,
yeah.
Goldfish, also bad. They have enriched wheat flour. That's another thing. I was talking about that at your house that one day. How a lot of American ingredients, um, like pasta and stuff, has enriched flour in it. Rice, enriched flour,
Right.
which is what makes us feel so full. That's why, like, when you were in Italy, you could eat so much pasta. You could eat pasta every single day and not really gain weight, not feel bloated and full. Disgusting. But in America, we put enriched flour, whatever that is,
Yeah.
in our pastas, our rice, clearly our goldfish, and that's what makes you feel like just gross and bloated.
Yeah. Like eat some pasta and you want to go lay down and take a nap.
Yeah, but they say that they don't do that in a lot of other countries, which is why people don't like you don't feel the same way. It also says that goldfish are a huge reason why kids have cavities. But there's a Simple Meals brand that has their own brand of goldfish and Cheez-Its. Cheez-Its are also bad. Shocker. But Simple Mills
Wow.
has their own brand of Cheez-Its and goldfish. I don't think I've tried that brand. Um,
No,
I don't really eat
I
Cheez-Its
haven't.
and goldfish like that though. I do love some goldfish, but I don't really like eat goldfish like that.
Yeah. No, they're not my go-to. They're not my go-to either, but your mom likes them. I think we probably have some in a bowl here
You do have some in your drawer. I saw them.
or in a, yeah.
Yeah, they're in
Yeah.
your pull-out
I
drawer.
mean, I think the biggest thing is like, you were talking about I think you said a TikToker who was going down the aisles and saying like, this is all garbage, don't eat this, it's all bad for you, it's all. And I think that's good to like have people informed that way, but I think like what we're talking about is better. I think it's better to give people you know the alternatives and explain like why the alternatives are better for them, are better choices, and just like to give people the advice of just like be informed, like you said, look at the back of that label and see what's in it, because don't assume just because you're able to buy it in the store that it's good for you. All right, guys, have a good one. Thanks.